Greetings and salutations, you beautiful individuals. We are back. It is League Unlock. I am Eric. That is Mark. And today we're doing a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a rehash, but we very recently did, the top 20 players of all time. And one of the members, just outside of the top 5, well, within that list, was your boy Smeb. And now, Mark, he's announcing his retirement from the professional scene. He's still going down as the best top laner of all time.
Another retirement happening this year. We're seeing some of the
Snuck
legends
it in
of the
2020,
game.
just barely.
It's crazy. The years have gone by, and especially the last, 2 years, we've seen a couple legends step away from the game, but nothing like this year to see so many of these, iconic, legendary players in the scene step away, and not just, in one region, multiple regions. Turns out Korea is not exempt from it this year. Smeb retiring, and you said it, man. One of the very best that we've ever seen play the game, probably in general, but let alone the top lane.
Yeah, now we have the LPL. You've seen Uzi, NA. You had Bjergsen, Doublelift, and LCK. Now you throw in Smeb retiring. It's just EU, and people are saying Perk's retired, going to Cloud9. So really, all the regions have got it covered. At least some icon from their scene hanging it up this year.
Hey, gotta have that turnover happening, and as we talked about, this is the time
it's
that
all come in at once. It's insane,
right? And it is crazy, and especially as you talk about players having certain significance in their region, their own region that they're retiring from, let alone obviously the international impact of them retiring, given how much of a legend these players are. Someone like Smeb, in Korea specifically, and specifically talking about the LCK, man, there really is not someone more famed, more storied as a top laner than Smeb. You'd really be looking at pretty much the only name that you could come up with would be someone like Marin, and Smeb completely dominates on someone like Marin, even considering Marin's championships.
And the thing with Marin is you're looking at basically 1 year. You could say a couple tournaments, but it's one calendar year where, okay, you can talk about him as the best top laner in the world. Smeb, you're talking 2, 3, 4 years where he's at that level. And to me, we said this before on the top 20 list, even though they didn't play the same lane, he feels like the most legitimate rival that Faker has had.
Has ever had, right? As far as we're talking about, when you're looking at, maybe other mid laners, sure, you can have these type of discussions now, rookie caps, whatever you want to be talking about. But really, when you're talking about at the peak, at the very best that we've seen from Faker ever in his career, Smeb was right there alongside him, delivering the plays, and good enough, that at the very peak, people were saying, I want Smeb. I'd be building a team around Smeb. That is crazy right now. Obviously, looking back, a lot of people are going, oh my God, what? But that's just the level that he was able to play at and what he was able to offer. The flanks, everybody should be thinking back to the flanks that he has on champions like Kennen, coming into every team fight with that picture perfect ultimate. You got a friend that jumps in and says, man, I saved you guys with that on that team fight. You say, that's not saving everybody, man. You send him a clip of what Smeb has done with some of those ultimates, and that is swinging things around.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about the TPs, the flanks he's done, playing carries, even when they weren't particularly meta at the time. It was just, it doesn't matter. Smeb's our best player. Put him on a carry because it doesn't matter if he's up against a Maokai. He'll still have a huge impact on the game. With him retiring, it's only Peanut. The Rocks Tigers, one of the most hyped up and exciting teams we've ever had. Peanut is the only one who hasn't retired. Gorilla retired earlier this year as well. Another legend from the LCK. Prey has already retired, and I guess we still have Kuro kicking around in some places. No, he announced his retirement too. They all retired this split, basically. It's insane.
They have nobody playing still from the 2015 Coup Tigers, and as you said, it just Peanut, just our lone nut hanging on out there, saying, "I'm there. I'm gonna keep playing." And bless Peanut, he's still playing. Happy to see him back with the LCK.
He's just slowly going down the tiers of what team he's playing on, but he's still there.
Hey, he's still there. But this is about Smeb and what legacy that he leaves behind, and even outside of just talking about obviously his results and everything else, you look at what what type of figure he was, how big he was in the scene, obviously, of Korea. You're talking about Faker for T1. And then, of course, yeah, you still had Old Man Score. But who was there during the majority of those years, and who was there when they really started to form up? That was Smeb there with Score alongside on KT Rolster. You're thinking KT Rolster. You're thinking number one. You're thinking Old Man Score. Right behind him, you're thinking Smeb.
Well, that's why I look at him as a big rival to Faker, is because of that move to KT when Peanut went over and Smeb said, no, I'm building the team to break him down. And immediately when he came to KT, yeah, you kind of did see a shift where Smeb pretty quickly became the face of that franchise while he was there. The super team gets built when he comes over and is really the main instrument to why that happens. And he kept his level of play for the first 2 years, 2017, 2018, that he was on KT Rolster. So you were legitimately talking about 4 years where he was in the conversation for best top laner in the world.
And this is just simply one where I know that a lot of people, you're going to miss him. You're going to miss getting to watch Smeb, getting to see Smeb, getting to see, little interviews with him and stuff, interacting. And obviously this is, again, thing to remind that a lot of times with these retirements and a lot of these players, they're not completely leaving the scene, right? They want to stay involved in certain other aspects and everything else. And sure, that can fill some type of void. But every time this happens, every retirement that comes through, it's always not exactly the same. And it's always a little bit bittersweet. You got to say, you know what? We got full faith in everything moving forward for Smeb, and very thankful for getting to see and watch his wonderful career, but bittersweet to say goodbye to it.
And it's always a little more sad when these players retire and you're talking about, the last few splits that people saw of them on the Rift, far and away from their peak levels of performance. When you think of Smeb, don't think of 2019 and 2020 for his performance on the Rift. Support Maokai when he's subbing in for KT. That's not what his career is. Watch 2015 to 2018 to really know what a force he was.
It's pretty crazy that you could say, you can go all the way until the 2018 Worlds, right? And then that would be where you'd probably want to maybe stop as far as watching the Smeb clips. And that's not necessarily all on Smeb himself. That's about as far as, where KT Rolster's level of play continued up until. And yes.
Yeah. IG series was great. And then KT, the team disbanded.
That's
right?
The end. That's
they
the end. No, please, unless you want to have fun watching that Maokai support highlights, you leave it at the 2018 World Finals. Oh, yeah, for fun might be the right word. But even then, even going back and watching those clips of that IG series where KT falls, still lots of moments and big plays from Smeb. I think back to the outplay or how he lived as the Aatrox in that one team fight was crazy in that top side.
Yeah, he was going opposite the Shy. The Shy eventually gets subbed out. Got to avoid
the Cheyenne too.
Yeah, that's true. He had to take down 2 world champions if they wanted to win. One of the greatest series we've ever seen at Worlds. Also, by the way, was that one. But Smeb, an absolute legend. We say goodbye. I don't think he'll be coming back in a Uzi situation. I think this is it for him. But whatever he does, I'm sure he will find success, and he'll be in the LCK Hall of Fame equivalent whenever that thing gets rolling. That's it for talking about Smeb. Thank you guys for hanging out. Eric and Mark with you guys. We'll catch you on that flippity flop.